a special meeting template and it wasn't on there.
I'll just say it.
Okay.
It was all on the road, and then he took it to Paris. And he wanted them, yeah.
6 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
There to,
Okay, Mayor?
no, if they did drawings and some comes down and get off this little guy.
Ready?
Yeah.
You're live.
Big phone. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our regular special public council meeting, our special public council meeting for Monday, December 15th, 2025, here in the town of Torbay. I'm going to add new business to our agenda, just because I know people might want to have a Christmas greeting or something like that. Councillor Manning.
Thank you, greeting.
Okay. Councillor Pollard.
Same, please.
Councillor Whitten. You're passing. Councillor Goss.
Sure, I'll agree.
All right.
Not after that, absolutely.
Councillor Martin.
Yes, greetings and thank you.
All right. Deputy Mayor.
Yes, please.
There we go. And same for me. All right. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda as amended, please?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much. First thing here is a set of public council minutes for December 10th. Can I get a motion to adopt those, please?
So moved.
Moved.
Second.
Seconded. Any errors or omissions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Conflict of interest. I don't think there's anybody going to be conflict of interest, so I'm going to change that to birthdays. So I forgot to do the birthdays for November, and I might as well do the ones for December. So I'm going to quickly go through these. Tara Lynn Farrell, November 9th, Infrastructure and Public Works. Danny Lowe, November 10th, Facilities, Torbay Common. Alison Nago, November 12th, Planning. Carrie Murray, November 23rd, Director of Economic Development. Sandy Hounsell, November 30th, Chief Administrative Officer. Rodney Goody, there, December 5th, Fire Chief. Matthew Snow, December 6th, Corporate Services. Joshua Parsons, December 7th, Recreation Services. Mark Whalen, December 15th, he is Director of Chief Human Resources Officer. Robert Hussey, December 12th, Public Works. Alison Hallahan, December 20th, Recreation. And Holly Walters, December 24th, Accounts Receivable. Happy birthday, everybody. And for those who had their birthdays already, I hope you had a good time. And for those that have them coming up, and Mark today, happy birthday, and I hope you have a safe one going forward. So thank you very much for allowing me to add that in there. I know that you really didn't have any say, but I just did it anyway. All right, committees of council, corporate services, Councillor Pollard.
Thank you, Your Worship. There's only one item up for discussion, I guess, or information purposes, and that's the budget. So I'm going to read out the budget speech, which I normally would have written myself, but all the nice folks here decided to write it for me, so it's great. I will read that as written, although someone says it might be AI generated, so who knows? But we'll see. And then I guess we'll go to the motion. So, Your Worship, if we can, I'll just read it. Then we'll go to the motion. We can discuss the budget after motion's moved and seconded.
Yes, sir.
Does that sound reasonable? Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Scott, Deputy Mayor Tapper, fellow council members, staff, volunteers, and all residents of the town of Torbay. I am pleased to present our 2026 budget to you all this evening. I would like to take a moment to reflect on some key moments for our town in 2025. Over the winter, we received federal funding to aid in addressing both our housing and water needs in Torbay. We continue to see a large uptake in our community programs and events at Torbay Common and Torbay History House. We've had a great numbers at our holiday events and the Torbay Festival of Trees so far this year, despite the messy weather that we've been incurring. Thank you to our staff and volunteers who continue to make our programs and events within our town possible, and to our residents who always come out to support their town. Over the summer, our staff developed and launched the new Town Torbay website. Our new website provides increased accessibility to information and updates from within the town for residents. We look forward to continuing to build on these opportunities in 2026. And we certainly ask if any residents have any feedback to certainly provide that as they wander through to look at the new website. One of the biggest moments we experienced as a town this year was our municipal election. At this time, I would like to thank all previous council for their help and support over the time that I've been on council, and certainly for the time that they've served the residents of Torbay. And I would like to thank and welcome the new council for their support and wish them all luck moving forward for the next number of years as we all work together to serve our residents. As per legislation, all municipalities are required to present a non-deficit budget. Our newly elected council, along with staff, are committed to reviewing all areas of operations to ensure we are providing quality service as cost effectively and efficiently as possible. As the cost of living and doing business remains high, we will continue to review and find opportunities for savings and efficiencies that minimize the tax burden on residents and businesses. This year, we received tremendous feedback and input from our residents, businesses, and community groups through both our budget survey and consultations. Council and staff, thank you for providing your input through this process. 2026 will see a total budget of $12,274,147, allocating $548,609 for capital expenditures and $11,725,538 for operational costs. We are committed in addressing needs within our community that will also serve as an investment into a sustainable future for the town of Torbay. At the same time, we need to ensure our resources and operating expenses continue to be used both efficiently and in the best interest of the town. I am pleased to say that the residential property tax mill rate will remain at 7.7 mils and the commercial property tax rate will remain at 12.5 mils. There will be no increase in residential or commercial water tax. Council will continue to offer the 12-month interest-free payment loans or payment plan for taxes, and in addition to the 25% reduction for those in receipt of the guaranteed income supplement would also continue, as will the 20% tax reduction for low-income individuals and families. The tax reductions will apply to the taxpayers' primary residence only. The town will also now be accepting Visa and MasterCard payment for tax balances paid in full on or before March 31st, 2026. A service charge of 2% will be applied to all Visa and MasterCard payments to offset bank processing fees. Residents are encouraged to contact the Town Hall for more information regarding the application process to determine and confirm your eligibility. The biggest challenge remains our municipal water supply and the need for a source of potable water. The town of Torbay requires water to support development, to be prosperous, to be sustainable, and to minimize the tax burden on residents in the future. We thank residents for doing their part this year throughout our water ban and boil orders as we endured extreme dry conditions and a significant water shortage in North Pond. Although the water levels continue to rise in North Pond, the town will still pump from White Waste Pond into North Pond. And as you all notice, that process has started now with considerable pipage along in the mill line right now. And we expect that within the next week or so we'll be pumping, although every time I look at the report it says we'll be a week. We'll get there eventually anyway, that's the main thing. Without this additional supply, we cannot guarantee a reliable water source throughout the winter months. This work is expected to take a week to complete. The town of Torbay will use the $26.8 million in federal funding announced in March to build a water supply, treatment and distribution system. This funding will help support the development of Great Pond as a municipal water supply and increase our capacity of potable drinking water. It will include the construction of a water and intake treatment facility as well as a fishway to maintain flows for fish passage. Council will continue our efforts to advocate for the residents who are impacted by the PFAS contamination issue. The town will continue to seek additional investments in our water supply and work with provincial and federal government. Additionally, we allocate $60,000 to update our current groundwater study. Our infrastructure and public works staff will continue to monitor our 5 zone water meters that were installed in 2023 at Tynedale Drive Pump House, Thorns Lane Pump House, Marine Drive, Indian Mill Line, and Convent Lane. Council will also increase its budget allocation for road maintenance repairs to $250,000 in budget 2026, a $25,000 increase from that of 2025. For the first time in 15 years, the Jack Byrne Regional Sport and Entertainment Center will receive a subsidy from the town. The Jack Byrne Regional Sport and Entertainment Center has been self-sustaining for over a decade and a half, a remarkable achievement. As per the request of Jack Byrne Regional Sport and Entertainment Center to the owning partners, the town will allocate $56,000 to subsidize the operation of this building. The Department of Recreation and Community Services is on the front lines of providing community programs and events to our residents year-round. Our staff will continue to provide residents and their families with high-quality programming and events that will attract all ages. The town will increase the number of children and youth in our summer day camp and decrease the weekly registration fee from $195 to $170. We will also be offering a full-time 5-day sports camp. As a result of review of our summer programming and camps, we have made adjustments and restructured how they are administered. This will result in a 12.5% cost saving for participants while increasing the number of participants to 33% of what it was, or up 33% from what it was, while offering the same quality of camp our participants have come to enjoy. Our walking and hiking trails also serve as a major attraction for both residents and visitors alike. The town of Torbay will continue its investment on our local trails by allocating $200,000 towards trail development so that residents and visitors can continue to enjoy the outdoors and a healthy lifestyle. The town has also introduced an Inclusion and Accessibility Committee in an effort to build more inclusiveness. Our goal is to ensure we have programming and opportunities in our town for everyone. Planning and development play a major role in any municipality for both preservation and growth. Budget 2026 will see an allocation of $659,781 towards planning and zoning within the town. In February, the federal government, through Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, has given $2.1 million to the town to help accelerate the growth of housing and will work with builders and developers to aid the construction of 113 new dwellings in the town over a defined timeline of 3 years. The town looks forward to working with builders, developers, and the community to identify development opportunities through our housing incentive program and meet housing needs that ensure a sustainable and prosperous future for Torbay. The town of Torbay will continue to invest in its protective services to increase resident and community safety. The Torbay Volunteer Fire Department is heavily involved in and around the community. And while a major focus is on emergency response, the department is also heavily engaged in the community through Fire Prevention Week, fundraisers, and department tours for community groups. The Torbay Volunteer Fire Department went above and beyond, as they always do, this past summer with their fire suppression efforts and community aid to our neighboring communities who experienced mass devastation from raging wildfires. We are forever thankful for everything our fire department does for both our residents and the community at large. Understanding the needs of the fire department, the town has allocated $847,000 in protective services to ensure that Torbay Volunteer Fire Department is able to continue carrying out its work as safely and as timely as possible. This is a 17% increase from last year's budget of $630,000. The town will invest in new equipment to enhance fire safety operations and procedures and hire on a full-time fire chief. A dedicated fire chief ensures consistent leadership and oversight of fire and emergency services. With this comes improvements to response times, coordination, and readiness for fires, medical calls, and disasters. A strong municipal budget provides numerous benefits, enabling the municipality to operate efficiently, maintain infrastructure, and improve the quality of life for its residents. Budget 2026 is built with those goals in mind. We will continue to address our municipal water supply for our residents and local business and continue to provide high-quality municipal services to our residents through all departments. This budget was crafted after many hours of hard work from both staff and council of being guided by the importance of public trust and accountability from residents. Based on that, I now ask for support of budget. So the first motion is, whereas the town of Torbay is required to adopt an annual balanced budget, actually it should be non-deficit budget, and whereas the proposed 2026 budget reflects the town's operational and capital priorities, be it resolved that the town of Torbay adopt the 2026 total budget in the amount of $12,274,147 with the following breakdown. the operating budget of $11,725,538, and capital budget of $548,609. So moved.
Moved and seconded. Comments?
Your Worship, I just want to say that this budget is fairly lean, and I think it meets the needs and requirements of the town at this point in time, especially given the fact that we know we have some large capital expenditures coming down the road in terms of the water treatment plant at North Pond and the continued search for, I guess, our share of funding for Great Pond as we move forward. It also recognizes, I think, the fact of where we are and addresses the fire and safety issue, where we agreed to increase the budget for the fire department. There are not a lot of capital expenditures here, and I think that shows our restraint and our control of a budget where we move forward. Some of the larger amounts that we did incur, are planned to incur, I should say, there's $100,000 in there for our long overdue overhaul, I guess, of our computer systems here and our servers. We cannot afford to have them go down, so we certainly need to invest in those. There is $60,000, as was mentioned, in the groundwater assessment study, $200,000 for the trails, and there are some other renovations that need to be done. The roof area needs to be done, and there's some work in there for the fire department as well. So all in all, it's a pretty conservative, I think, capital budget. Operational-wise, we're not that far off where we were in 2025. As a matter of fact, it's almost identical, and hence we're able to keep the mill rate the same. And our debt ratio has actually gone down slightly from that in previous years as well, gone from 15, 14, 13 over the past 3 years. So it gives us some added capacity to take on debt we need to actually service the needs of our water supply.
Okay, any other comments?
I think until you sit in this room and you actually see and feel the weight of the decisions that have to be made for this budget and take into consideration the committees and the asks of the directors and all of those different departments that help run this town and all of the residents, and trying to take into consideration parents. I mean, everybody is struggling in this last few years, and I think that this budget, as lean as it is, we still took that into consideration and tried to make sure that it hit every different area as well as we could. But there were some long nights in here, and I think that until you actually sit here and realize the weight of the decisions that you make. It's
Any other comment?
Yeah, I just want to touch on the the recreation, obviously. To go from where we were with 60 kids to now taking 80 kids plus another 20 kids in the sport camp, go from 60 to 100, and be able to reduce the cost down, ticks all the boxes. And also that we're also going to have a full-time fire chief.
Yeah.
Very important.
And that too is what I wanted to touch on, was the fire department, because they responded to over 300 calls this year alone, and it just continues to increase for them there. So to work with them and to make the expansions that are needed, it's for everyone, every resident in this community. So feeling good about that.
Well, I'll just have a few comments. I'm not going to go over everything that you guys talked about, but I will say this. I want to thank you all for the work that you put in. Coming in from an election, and one of the first things that you had to do is to sit around and come up with a budget. And, you know, it's not an easy task, as Councillor Goss pointed out. There's a lot of asks that come in from residents and from our staff and from members of council as well. You know, we bounce ideas, and I think that I'm glad everybody had input into the budget process. It's I think indicative of some of the decisions that we made, that some new ideas come in from around the table from new people that show up on council. And one of those was increasing the number of kids we can offer Camp 2. And I want to thank our director in Recreation Community Services for being able to accommodate that. And, you know, and I think that it's important to remember that we did do the budget survey, and one of the things that came back at the top of the list for people was the fire department. So I'm glad that we made that investment, and I'm happy that our partners in Flat Rock are always on board with us on those things that we do. So we are going to be advertising soon for that position of fire chief. And, you know, we couldn't have done that without the leadership of our current chief that we have now and the support that he gets from the fire department. So I'm really happy about that. And I think that, you know, we got a lot of big decisions that are going to be coming up, and I'm really comfortable and happy with the people that we have sitting around this table that are going to be taking those things on. And I just want to say thank you to all of you for the work that you've put in and how quickly you've come up to speed. Next month, we're all going to be in training, learning how to do what we've already done. And, you know, it's you're going to learn something from that. But first thing first, this budget, I think, is very fair. And I want to thank David. I want to thank all of our directors for the amount of work that you put in, particularly our corporate services division. They're the ones that deal with all the numbers and advise us and help us. So it's a complete team effort. I want to thank you. Back to you, sir. All right, with that, I'll call a question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Second motion is for the adoption of the 2026 tax and fee structure. Whereas the town of Torbay must establish a tax and fee structure for the 2026 fiscal year, and whereas a schedule of taxes and fees has been prepared and presented to council, be resolved that the town of Torbay adopt the tax and fee structure schedule for 2026 as presented, and further, the 2026 schedule will be advertised in the January edition of the Northeast Avalon Times, and the schedule will be posted on the town's official website. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. That was pretty
Two more.
painless. We got more motions.
Two more.
Oh, my God. Carry on.
Third motion relates to the change in our policy around Visa and MasterCard payments, so we do need a motion on that. So acceptance of Visa and MasterCard payments. Whereas the municipality seeks to provide additional payment options for taxpayers, and whereas the acceptance of Visa and MasterCard payments will incur bank service fees, be it resolved that effective for the 2026 taxation year, the municipality will accept Visa and MasterCard payments for the tax balances paid in full on or before March 31st, 2026. A service charge of 2% will be applied to all Visa and MasterCard payments to offset bank processing fees. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Final motion relates to interest on outstanding tax balances. Whereas the municipality seeks to establish a fair and consistent interest policy on overdue tax accounts, be resolved that effective April 1st, 2026, all outstanding tax balances will accrue simple interest at a rate of 1.25% per month, 25% per month on the unpaid balance. And interest will be calculated retroactively to January 1st, 2026 and applied at the end of each month commencing April 2026. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments?
That means that you have until the end of March to pay your taxes, and once you're beyond that, then interest kicks in.
Good.
Gotcha.
Short and sweet.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
So ends the report, George.
All right, thank you, sir. Very good job. Where am I to? Okay. Question and answers. Is there anybody there in the gallery that would like to ask any questions about what we just did? No? Okay.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you. Don't we usually clap after we pass the budget?
Let's do it.
All right, thanks, everybody. New business. Mr. Manning.
I'm going to start what everyone else is going to say. First and foremost, to the staff, thank you for 2025. I couldn't have done my job without any one of you. So thank you for that, and look forward to you taking up the slack for 2026. On that note, just want to put out there to certainly all the staff and all the residents, have a very Merry Christmas and a joyous New Year, and whatever you wish you get in the new year. from me to all of you. That's it.
Mr. Pollard?
Sorry, just had
Go ahead.
Sorry, you had your head down at that time. I wasn't sure what you said. So yeah, so I would say the same thing that Rhonda said, and you know, special thanks to staff and council this time of year in terms of the number of hours that were actually put in around this table to arrive where we are. I think there were some 7 or 8 iterations of the budget, and there's a lot of new learning for folks who haven't sat at the table before, and staff as well. We have finally, we've been here, I've been here for, well, too many years, but a lot of years, and I think this is the first stretch of time that we actually had staff in the finance department solidified enough to have some continuity and to make sense around the budget process and actually give us a great help. So kudos to them. Want to thank all the residents for their ongoing support, certainly, and always look forward to dealing with them and listening. I don't know, sometimes we probably don't always do what they want us to do, but you know, at least we're there for an ear and to listen. Special thanks to all our volunteers, without which we would never be able to carry on the way we do, and if we ever put a dollar value on that, then we certainly would never be able to have a 7.7 mill rate that we had to pay for our volunteers. And that goes as well to the special group in the fire department, and the time and effort that they put in, time away from families, the risk that they put themselves in at times, and we always appreciate what they do. So I want to wish everybody that I mentioned in the thanks a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year and safe holiday season. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you. Councillor Whitten.
So I'm going to say ditto to what Rhonda and Tony said, but I knew back in September that I wanted to run for council, and I'm so happy I'm here. I know it's kind of been like drinking through those pipes that are being set up for pumping water. We've definitely taken in a lot of information really quickly, and I gotta say, I can't imagine being anywhere else with, you know, you guys doing the budget and everything else we've done. I certainly appreciate all your help, all your wisdom, all your knowledge, and that's it. I'm excited for the new year. I'm happy we have the budget done, because my children are saying, "Mommy, you're going to another meeting." Yeah, I am. But Christmas is coming, and I just want to say Merry Christmas and a happy and safe New Year. And can't wait to start this all over again January 1st with Tony, because he loves it. I know he does.
All right. Councillor Gause.
Again, everything they just said. Also a big thank you to all of the staff and directors and other council members who've been here longer than us for your patience in dragging us along through this and waiting us out. It took a long time for us to, you know, it's a steep learning curve, but it's a great group of people, and I'm really happy to be here. As Jenny said, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I think we got a lot of great things coming. You guys see it as a year ending, but we're just kind of starting. So thank you to everybody, and I think it's wonderful to see the inclusivity that's happening now, not just in council, but the things we're bringing forward into our different departments. And I want to wish everybody in Torbay a very Merry Christmas, whatever they celebrate. Our new Canadians that are with us as well. Welcome to Newfoundland, welcome to Canada. And I hope 2026 is better than 2025 for everybody.
Excellent. Thank you. Mr. Martin.
I'll repeat what everyone else said. I'll just do it a little better. I just want to thank all the staff, especially all the directors sat here, and Matthew, who's in attendance, for all the budget, all your asks, all your requests. It wasn't easy to say no, but we had to do it. Right, Dave? We did. A big shout out to Dave and Matthew, though, for every budget meeting we came to. Everything was prepared for us. It made it a little bit easier as we're learning as we went. Also, a big shout out to my wife, who allowed me to do this and looked after the kids all the time that we were away. And I'd just like to take this opportunity to say Merry Christmas to everybody, staff, council, and residents, and hi Hayden.
Deputy Mayor.
Thank you for the opportunity. And I really want to echo what Scott said in terms of David and Matthew. How prepared you were for every single meeting we sat down to was fantastic. It certainly got us through it with no arguments, no bad feelings. We all sat, and it was a beautiful experience for me as a first-time counselor, as I'm sure it was for the other new people here. Also, thank you to Mayor Scott for giving me the opportunity to be chair of the inclusive committee that we're starting. I had the wonderful chance on Sunday to go over to the gathering for the inclusive special needs kids, and it was fabulous. Joey Tilley did an amazing job. I was extremely impressed by what that man has done with that group. So to Joey Tilley and all of his helpers, thank you very much. It was fabulous. And just to say, really looking forward to working with this beautiful group for the next 4 years, and to all the staff and fellow council members, beautiful Christmas and the most fantastic 2026 imaginable. Thank you.
Thank you. And I am going to echo pretty much what you all said. Every week at this council meeting, I always put a shout out to our staff and to council for all the hard work you've put in. This last month or 2 months, we've been dealing with the budget. It's not, I know David and Matthew do all the heavy lifting with the numbers after, but those numbers impact all of our departments at the end of the day, and all of our directors and our staff, and not just, and I also want to make sure that our other staff that are not here, the people that are over pulling that pipe and putting that together and watching our water and plowing the roads, they understand that when I do that thank you every week, it includes them. And, you know, because the town can't operate without them. And I said this at an M&L meeting one time, that towns can operate without councils, but they can't operate without staff. And I don't know that it went over too well, but I think the staff people there certainly liked what I said. I want to put out a shout, thank you to the fire department and to Joe Tilley for that party on the weekend. It's one of my favorite events to go to every year, our special needs. It's why it's so important to me that we step up now and do more for those members of our community who often get overlooked. And this is what I hear from parents and guardians of our special needs people. And, you know, 2026 is going to be a better year for them and for everyone. And I'm really looking forward to what we're going to do with that. I know the Deputy Mayor is going to do it justice, along with Councilor Manning, and our staff. I want to thank our residents for all their feedback they give us all the time. And even when they're not happy with us and they provide us with their suggestions or their complaints or whatever it is, we appreciate that because it helps us learn and helps us make better decisions the next time. So that's important. Don't take every negative comment by a resident on that crazy Facebook stuff to heart. And this is for the new councillors in particular, because you're going to feel at the beginning that you need to address all of that stuff and help everybody. And you're really going to want to, but you know, sometimes you just can't. And we can't run around like blue arse fly trying to address every little complaint that we see on that. But it is something that you learn from and pick up, and I really appreciate the fact that you guys, through the work that you've done over the last little while, has allowed me to do my job as mayor and to be the leader of the council and of the town. And you can't tell, but I'm sure that Tony and Rodney and the staff could tell that I'm really energized ever since the election, and I'm really looking forward to what we're going to do in the next 4 years. This is just the start of it, but I really, really appreciate the support that you give me and the time that you put in, and the honesty. When you don't like something, you tell me, and I like that. And you know, this is pretty much it. I just want to say to the residents, thank you very much. We're doing the best that we can here. We're hopefully going to resolve this water issue that we're having at North Pond in the very near future. The boys are over and the girls are over there pumping putting together that pipe and working hard, and they're gonna get that done, and we're gonna get ourselves through the winter, through this little hiccup that we got. And the future looks bright for us, and that is one thing that I thank you for. You've come in here with a positive attitude towards the town of Torbay, and that's what we gotta have, and I'm really looking forward to what we're gonna be able to do together over the next 4 years, and, bring it on. And I'm gonna see the rest of the residents at our remaining Christmas events. Seniors' Christmas party is coming up next week, or is it this week? This week. And I think that's almost gonna be the end of it for us for Christmas celebrations. Get out to see the fireworks in January 1st. It's probably the last ones we're ever gonna have. And enjoy them. That's buried deep down in the budget, but that's it. Thank you very much. I will stop there. I've said too much. Thank you to those who came this evening to our council meeting and sat there and listened quietly. That's what we like. The next public council meeting is scheduled to take place on Monday, January 5th, 2026, at 5 p.m. right here in the town of Torbay. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn, please. Moved. Seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Carried. Thank you very much.
Should have been accused of that.